Hi, I'm Becky.
Becky.
Today we're gonna talk about the top 5 mistakes I notice people make when they are tracking their food. Mistake number 1 is using eyeball measurements. So if an entry is a medium apple or half a banana, it's not as accurate and it's very easy to overestimate or underestimate what you're seeing in front of you. It's much better if you weigh out everything that you're gonna eat. Mistake number 2 is adding in exercise calories. So MyFitnessPal, for example, it can track your steps, it can track your workout, and then what it does is it will add in those exercise calories to your food calories, and then you end up having this huge amount of food to eat at the end of the day. And if you're just looking at calories, you think that you can eat a lot more than what you have just for your food. I would much rather you just use your tracking app as just data, tracking food, and turn off that feature where you can track your exercise too. Mistake number 3 is choosing entries with net carbs listed. And what food companies will do with net carbs is they will take the fiber or the sugar alcohols, they will subtract those carbs from the total carb count and then use that number to calculate total calories. But you're eating that food, you're eating those amounts of carbs, so you can't just subtract that and say, oh, I didn't eat those calories. You have to count all of the calories that you're eating from all macros. Mistake number 4 is looking at calories that you have left in the day versus macro amounts that you have left in the day. Most of the entries in MyFitnessPal aren't perfect. Sometimes it's user error, sometimes it's those net carbs that I just talked about. And if you look at the calories that you have left over, it can be a lot more than what you actually do when you do the macro math. So I'd much rather you do protein grams, carb grams, fat grams, use those numbers to figure out what you have left in your day. And then mistake number 5 is realizing that cooked entries and uncooked entries can make a big difference. Food volume changes when you cook it. Sometimes it shrinks, sometimes it expands, depending on the method that you use. And if you're using the inappropriate entry for a cooked or non-cooked food, you can be off by a lot of calories at the end of the day. So in summary, just pay attention to what you've been doing when you're tracking and look to see if you've made any of these small little mistakes. And the correction is pretty easy. You just have to be aware of the entries that you're using, make sure that you're weighing instead of using eyeball measurements, and then turn off those exercise calorie trackers.